14.
All right, Rabotai, Bekiim Bahalacha. Bekiim Mizrahi and Sons program for Bekiim Bahalacha. This is for the Fuah Shalema Haim ben Mazal Elna Refanalo. Refuat Nefesh, Refuat the group for Torah Balabo Bechin Yerasom and Omar. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
This is the Danya Koel Alav Basham Bekiim Bahalacha 6th edition. And today we are on day 46. You're looking in the books, it's on page 115, and it's Ashlema today, Shalom ben Adel, Elna Refanalo, Betuch Shar Hole Amo Yisrael. Amen. So we are talking about the subject of Kawah Gabra. Kawah Gabra means that the water has to come from the poorer or somebody's strength. It cannot just come from a natural flow that happened by itself. So the simple way of Kawah Gabra is, we didn't say anything yet. The simple way of Kawah Gabra is taking the cup and you pour it on your hands. That's the easiest way of Kawah Gabra. The easiest way of not Kawah Gabra, we said, was the case of the garden, when the person, let's say, is pouring water into this pipe canal, and it's flowing down the canal, and he's at the end of the canal, and the water's just coming out of the canal. Or, for example, he's standing underneath his roof, and the water from the rain is falling into the gutter, and it's flowing from the gutter, and he's putting his hand underneath. That clearly would not be good. That's not Kawah Gabra. That's something that is natural. Today we discuss a case that Maran brings. Let's say you have a barrel of water, okay, and he doesn't have anybody to pour it on his hands. If he has somebody to pour it, that's great. That's Kawah Gabra. It doesn't have to be your Kawah. It has to be the Kawah of any Gabra. So therefore, if the Reuven tells Shimon, do me a favor, take that barrel, lift it up, and he puts his hands in the Reuven like this, and Shimon pours the water for him, there's no problem. The Kawah Gabra. He's not a monkey. Even though Shulchan Aruch is going to say a monkey is also okay. We'll get to the monkey case in a minute, which is common in some cases, in some areas. Anyway, so now we have the issue of the problem in some communities. So now we have over here a case over here. We have a barrel. Okay, the barrel, he doesn't ready to pour it on him, and he can't lift it up. But it's a big barrel, so now it's on his lap. So Shulchan Aruch writes it's okay for him to tilt it a little. So if he tilts it a little, and that causes the water to go out, that would be okay. However, Shulchan will give a better advice in a minute. Read Halacha Tedvav. Habit sheyesh b'mayim. There's a barrel. Ve'en mi sheyishpoch lo mayim mimen al shtei yadav. He doesn't have anybody to pour water. Dashay lanicha al birkav. He could put it on his lap. Ve'litol mimena leyadayim. And he should pour from there on his hands. How? The best thing to do is tilt it with his legs.
Push it with his leg.
Push it with his leg. So therefore, exactly. So therefore, every time you're washing, you have Kawah Gabra. Kawah Gabra doesn't have to happen from your hands. Kawah can come from his legs. But bottom line, he's holding it on his lap, and every time he pours out, he tilts his leg, and that's causing the water to fall out.
And therefore, 3-3, and then 3-3.
Exactly. We'll do it 3 times like that, 3 times like that. So that would be the best situation. But the avad, even if he did it in one shot, because if he tilted in one shot, all the water went on his hand, it's also okay because it's Kawah Gabra. But better that it happens 3 times. They do it each time. He should jerk his leg in order to do it. But the avad, it's still Kawah Gabra. He tilted his leg that caused the water to come out in one shot. His hands are underneath it. B'di'avad, we want you to do it 3 times. But Maran says b'di'avad, if you did it 1 time, it's also Kawah Gabra. All the water came out. When you pour the cup, what happens when you're pouring the cup? You Kawah Gabra causes all the water to come out. So that we don't know it's only the first jerk. No, everything that comes out. But over here, when you tilt it, preferably you should stop and then tilt it again. But if you didn't do that, that'll be okay also.
3 times, but you want volume, or is it just the 3 times?
Whatever the shit is.
Each one has to be a certain
whatever we said the amount is.
One shot so much, like he says, with the barrel tipping, you don't want to do 3 times. You just do 1 time.
You can do 1 time if you did it if you eat, let's say, and if it would be enough. We do 3 times according to the Kabbalah and things, but according to the strict halacha, if you did it if you eat in 1 shot, you're okay. But we do 2 just in case you didn't do it if you eat, and if we want to wash off the waters instead of like we said. Let's say already the barrel is on the ground and the barrel was flowing, the water was flowing by itself. It can't be good. or she'omedet v'amam yotzim derech nekev sheba me'elim, or there's a hole in the barrel and the water just coming up by itself, and you put your hands there, lo al tatin tilam, no koach gavra, it's not going to work. Then tzadik she'yavo al yadam koach ezin notem, v'lo she'yavo me'en, it has to come from a giver and not from
An action.
not from automatic. Now we get to, let's say, a barrel that has a spigot. We talked about this case yesterday. So, habit sheyesh lo barza. Barza is like a spigot, like a knob on the bottom. Vehesida v'kibel hamayim al yadav. And you pull out, it can be one or two things. It can be a spigot where you turn, or like a plug. When you pull the plug out, all of a sudden the water spurts out. So the deen is, hashib shepe koach gabra. That is koach gabra. Your koach, you pulled it out and you caused the water, the flow. Before your koach was there, the water was blocked into the habit itself. So therefore, that's considered koach gavra. However, like we said, you have to put it in every time. You plug it in, pull it out, catch the water. Pull it in again, second time. Pull it in again, third time. Mishum de lo hashvina bezeh ba mikoho ela kilo harishon. We only consider the koach gavra the first flow, the first spurt, and therefore, after the spurt comes out, now it's coming out by gravity again. So therefore you have to put it back in again to do it again. But on and off, the same thing.
Why isn't a faucet good?
We'll get to the force. That's the next halacha. Very good question. Now, even though the barzah is on the bottom, and from where the spigot is, there's not an eat to the bottom of the vessel, but we still okay, because as long as the it's not leaking, so long as it's sealed, it'll be okay. So that's the spigot case. Now we get to the real case that we need to discuss, the case of a sink. Okay, let's discuss a sink. What would you say with a sink? So we discussed this yesterday, really. So somebody would want to argue, well, I put my hand on the sink, open the faucet, the first spurt comes out, catch it, close it. Open it again, catch it. Open it again, catch it. That's very nice. The problem is, where's the keli? Remember the rule we said yesterday? Klal gadol and yadayim. You need a keli. So you come on, Rabbi, the pipes. The pipes are not considered a keli. The pipes are not considered a vessel for different reasons. One reason the pipe is not considered a keli is because it's attached to the house. And anything that's attached to the house, mehubal karkas. Mehubal karkas is not considered a keli. And it's not a vessel anyway. It's not holding the water. It's just a canal that the water is going through. So then the question then becomes, like Victor said, but in some systems, especially in Israel, you have a tank on top of the roof, a barrel. And that's definitely a keli. So the question then becomes, do you say that since it went in the keli and then it's going through the pipe? So someone will argue, no, but bottom line, it went to the keli, but didn't go straight into the faucet, it went to the pipes. So it's not coming through the keli, it's coming through the pipes. So when you open the faucet, you're just releasing it from the barrel, let's say, on top. And then what? It goes through the pipes. By the time it's coming to your hands, it's coming from the pipes that's on your hands. So what do I care if it emanated from a keli on top? That's one side to say that really it's not going to be good. The other side to say that it will be good is Rabbi Sitzli Ezer, Rabbi Eliezer Waldenberg. His hadush is, he said no. He said, first of all, the pipe is connected to the barrel, and therefore it's considered part of the barrel. Not only that, but there's always water in the pipe. So therefore the water is connected to the barrel, the pipe is connected to the barrel, therefore it's considered one. Therefore, it's as if it's coming from the barrel itself. So Rabbi Sitzli Ezer was actually lenient to say that if a person turns on the faucet and closes it, and turns it on and closes it, it'll be okay if you have a barrel on top. Look at the second paragraph on page 170. Nevertheless, several aharonim ruled that it is possible to perform the Netilat Yadayim from the faucet. And who's that? From the tank. The seats of the Ayazid explained that since the tank is made to be connected to the pipes, it is as if the pipes are part of the tank. Habibi. Since the water does not leak out until someone turns on the faucet, the pipes are considered as part of the keli. And therefore, when pouring from the faucet, it's considered to be pouring directly from the keli, to the kadush. Furthermore, he says, the pipes are filled with water the entire time. And therefore, since the pipes are connected to the sink and the pipes are connected to the barrel on top, and the water is connecting them both, so it's like it's coming from the barrel itself. Okay, we don't hold like that, Lemase. They asked Achab the question, can you use the sink? He said, if there's no other option and there's no other keli available, and we're talking about a mechanism where there's a barrel or a keli on the tank on top of the roof, then already there's room to be lenient. And therefore, he said you could open and close, and then he came along and said they could even make a beracha, which is a bekadush over here. He took the tzitzi ezer b'diavad, and therefore, in that case, now I wonder in our systems that we have, we don't have
Tanks.
maybe in buildings.
We
Your
have a hot
building,
water
or
tank.
your building has a water on the roof in Florida.
Very good
No.
question.
I
No,
know,
only
the roof. I think
no.
it's in the bottom.
only the air conditioning will know.
So where's the water? The water's in the tank.
It comes from the street.
Or
You
even
know,
in
hot water
houses.
tank.
In the houses also, it's not on the roof.
No, it's in the boiler
Oh, you
room.
do have a hot water tank.
Just for
Hot water, but the cold water.
Cold water straight.
Cold water straight, so you don't have
But if you're mixing, you're getting both. You're getting tank and both.
okay, so
So in other
that,
words, you cold, yeah, maybe. But hot and cold mix.
right,
Yeah.
so that would be a good question.
That'd be a good
So
question.
where you're doing warm water,
Right.
so half of it's coming from the tank, and half
right
it's
there,
coming
tank
from
right
the,
there, I can see
and
it.
half it's coming from.
Yeah, but the instant hot, that wouldn't work.
No, but you have to have
No,
a tank.
A water tank.
Right.
You have
So he's-
you have in your apartment
Yeah.
a tank in the closet.
Correct.
Okay, so there.
But that's the
You
hot
have
water.
warm, no, but warm is six
I'm
mix.
just saying, so you're mixing it.
Ah.
So that'd be a good question. You're mixing hot and cold.
There you go.
So therefore, you have half of it's coming from the tank and half of it's coming from. Well, so already taking this leniency, and you stretch it.
Here.
You just stretch. It's not enough that the tzitzi ezer instead of a hadush. Now he wants to come along and say half tank, half whatever. That's already a stretch. You go with rov. How do you go with rov? How you gonna even know it's rov
By
is?
temperature.
Yeah, the hotter it is, right?
Hotter it is, and you know, then the better it is. By the way, so let's go slow. So if somebody asks you the following question, Rabbi, it used to be an Elal, they didn't have the kosot. Now the Kenny Rosenberg, he put the
With the price, the charge they can put
they-
food in.
okay, that's also that's business.
Oh, they come to your seat.
Yes.
Rabotai, since they started putting Torah on Elal, they started making a lot of money. I told
they
Kenny.
lost it from the
Yeah,
government.
they made
They put the price up.
business is business. Elal Rashid Tevot, every landing always late. In any event, what happened over here is, so now somebody asks you, Rabbi, can I use the sink? You really, before you can answer that question, you have to ask two questions. Number one, do you have a keli? Yes. So then what are you using a sink
If
for?
you don't
You
need
use the keli. What kind of question is that? Okay, good. Some people they asked, they think you can do it like a tahila. The next question you have to ask them, if you know, Rabbi, I don't have a keli. You have to, what type of sink do you have? What's on the roof? What do you where does the water come from? No, it comes from the pipes. We don't have a tank. No, there's no tank for the cold water. Game over.
Cold water straight.
They're cold water straight. Then even Rabbi Eliezer Waldenberg would not be lenient. The only reason why Rabbi Waldenberg was lenient because he held the tank as a keli, and the tank is connected to the pipes, and the pipes connected to the sink, and then the funny bone's connected to the elbow, and the elbow's connected to the. So therefore, all that type of business over there. And therefore, he was lenient. Chamavadya B'di'avad said, if you have nothing else, you could use the force of turning it on and off in such a case, making a beracha. Now, if this is the case, look at what he says in Halacha Yudchet. In Yudchet, but look at Yud Zayin for a second. En litol yadav al yedei peticha v'sigira shel haberes. You shouldn't rely on opening the faucet and closing the faucet. Mechivan shamayim ba'im derech tzinorot. It's coming from pipes. Then I mean, mikvahs are coming from a keli. Ve'av k'sheyesh chabit begag. Here it is. Even if you have a barrel on top of the roof, en lakel bazeh. You shouldn't be lenient unless it's sha'at dahak gadol, unless it's a great need. Kivan shamayim lo magim yashirut. It's not coming directly from the habit. Ela derech sinor. וכשייטול יצוק המים על ידם מיד לחפת הפרס, ושום יזכרנו. On and off, open and close it. The hadush over here is that he says you can even make a beracha, which is a hadush, even though you only have the seats to the ezer that was being mekil. A couple other rabbis maybe. He says ketzot hashulchan. That's the other argument. That's the other argument. Seats to the ezer didn't take that argument. Okay, now we get the halacha yudchet. Okay, he tilted the barrel. Okay, and now the water just flowing, and he went. There's 100 gallons in the barrel, and the water is now flowing the whole entire day. And then he went and he washed his hands. Al talo netila, hadush. The netila will work. He called Shulchan Aruch. Why? Because I guess that's koach gavra. He moved the barrel. So all that water that's coming out now came from his original hataya. V'hainu b'di'avad. Okay, that's only b'di'avad. Why? Really, each time you should tilt it. But look at the note on the bottom. Above, in Halakha 16, the ruling is that only the very first water that spills out of the spigot is Koach Gabra. So why are we leaning over here? Here, we're saying that even the whole barrel will be okay. Make up your mind. In the spigot case, we said you got to go on and off. This is because the person did nothing to any of the water. All he did is open the faucet and allow the water to flow out from the barrel. Okay, there, right. He didn't he didn't do anything to the water. He opened the spigot, and as a result of that, it caused the water to come out. Therefore, only the first burst of water will be considered Koach Gabra. However, in this case, he tipped the entire barrel. Here it's different. Here he tipped the barrel, which is basically pushing the water out. It's better. The spigot is more like a girama. You open it, the water came out. So therefore, you have to go on and off. Which means once you turn on the spigot, the first water that came out is your Koach Gabra. Whatever comes out after is Gorem. It's a girama. You didn't do anything directly to the water, but in this case, you did directly to the water. The barrel's here. I turned it over. That's Koach Gabra to the whole water that's in the barrel. So that'll be a little better case over there. The stringent view is Rabbi Eliyahu from Vilna, by the way. By the way, that was the opinion of Mishnah Berurah, Kafayim. Hakam from Vilna ruled stringently regarding this case, tipping the barrel. He compared it to the case of the monkey pouring the water. And there's a big question, can a monkey pour water? If you're there for the Mishnah Berurah, I recommended following the stringency. There is pertinent for Ashkenazim. For Sfaradim, it's okay. Maram, we're going to learn, Rizat Hashem coming up, that it's okay to have a monkey pour the water on the person's hands for the Tat Yadayim, as explained in Halakha 25. Maran's likewise ruling would apply to this case, tipping the barrel as well. We'll see exactly the case of the monkey coming up. Now, Kafa'im Sofer pointed out, it is possible that Maran permitted performing the mitzvah in this manner only when there's no other choice. Okay, that's of course we're going to say if you have a better choice, why should you put yourself into a quandary? Just use the regular keli. The last case we have over here is water dispensers. What are these water dispensers? So you have these water dispensers,
What kind of water?
like the water coolers.
Okay.
So the guy wants to push the
barrel on
button. Yeah, the regular button. He has the 5-gallon bottle on top. You want to push the button, and the water comes out, and you want to put your. So it's going to depend. If it's manual, then it would be like the spigot, and therefore push, stop, push, stop, push, stop. You'll be okay. But if it's electrical, and therefore when you're pushing the button, you're activating a pump, an electrical pump, and the electrical pump is pushing it out. That's not Koach Gabra anymore. That's already Grama, because you're pushing the button's pushing the pump, and the pump is causing it to go out. That's secondary. So therefore, you really have to check your. Well, then you have a problem on Shabbat also to use such.
I think they're electric.
I think they're regular.
I think for cooling, they're plugged in.
No,
Fine.
you have the pump, it'll, you know.
So yeah.
Those water tanks.
Well, it could be the ones we have in our houses. It's just the gravity. You just push the button, and the
But we
water
have in
comes
my
out.
house. Just cool.
Okay, so then that's a spigot case then.
That's
So
big.
beauty.
That could
So
kill
let's
you.
So
Your
you can
wife
do
will
it.
kill you. All the water.
All the water go on the floor. Correct. So
Like the water heater that you
Right.
pound the goes, you know, the water.
that's a pump.
That would be-
That's a pump. But over here, where you're pushing the button and just letting the water release, so it's Koach Gabra. As long as when you close it, it stops it.
Yes.
So therefore, you'd be okay. So look at the note on the bottom, water dispensers. Look at water dispensers. It is common to find water dispensers nowadays that are operated by pressing a button for the water to pour out and fill a cup. Exactly. And some of the button turns on a pump, which forces the water from the spigot. Most likely, it is impossible to perform the Yadayim by pouring water directly from such a machine onto his hands, since the electric pump is not Koach Gabra. Right? The pump is not Koach Gabra. Although opening the mechanical valve is considered Koach Gabra. Mechanical would be okay. And therefore, that should be fine as well. Now look at the. Okay, so that's it. That's what we have today. That's look at 19 for a second. אפשר ליטול ידיו על ידי מתקן סיפולוקס.
Those water bottles.
Okay. So that's tomorrow's halakha. That will see the seltzer bottles. That's the seltzer bottles. Actually, even what we read now was tomorrow's halakha, but I couldn't wait because I'm not going to be here tomorrow in Florida, so I wanted to tell you today. So okay, so let's go bottom line. Let's go review what we said today. Bottom line. There's Koach Gabra. That's the key rule we're learning over here. And Koach Gabra will manifest itself in the simplest case by taking the cup and pouring it on your hands, or letting somebody else pour it on your hands. Those cases are pashut. It'll also manifest itself, Maran said today, but even if you have a barrel on your lap and nobody can move it, by tilting it, that'll be also okay, but preferably you should try to tilt it each time. The case of the spigot, we said you should also try to open it each time. But in the case where you turned the barrel over yourself, Maram was lenient that as long as it's flowing, you can just put your hands underneath it the whole time. Because bottom line, it was your koach that went directly to tilt the barrel as opposed to just moving away the spigot or the cork in order to get the water that was there. Finally, we came along and said, using a sink, not recommended, although you have the seats to the ezet. But if you have no choice and there's a barrel on the roof, there's a tank, then already can be lenient on turning on and off. Chamav even said, B'shat hadag, you can even make a berakah regarding the water cooler. You'd have to check what type of mechanism. If it's a manual mechanism, it's no different than the case of the spigot. On, off, on, off, on, off, and you'll be able to fix that. But if it has a pump, then already you're just turning on, you're pushing the button, and it's activating the pump, and it's the pump that's pushing the water out. So that's not your koach gavra, but it's a gerama, and therefore that would be a problem. What do you got, gentlemen?
Yeah, the barrel.
Barrel.
Got a hose.
Hose, okay.
Put the hose in the barrel.
Okay.
The water's overflowing, so I use wash my hands from that, just from the overflow. I'm taking it manually. I'm bringing the hose in. It's going to overflow the barrel. I put my hand there, take the hose out.
What causes it to overflow? The
Volume of water.
Well, because you're just doing.
You're taking the hose.
Flooding the barrel.
You're flooding the barrel. You're bringing the hose, putting it in like this. Now that goes over the top of my hand. Wash my hand. Take the hose out. Put the hose back in. Wash my hand again. Is it good or not?
So
I'm not moving the barrel.
The question you've been asking is like this: if let's say I have a barrel filled to the top, and I throw a rock in the barrel,
Same question.
right? And the rock in the barrel causes the water to
Same thing.
fall out. So is that considered koach gavra?
Because you're throwing the barrel.
I threw the rock in,
Right.
and therefore I'm causing it to overflow, and therefore I'm catching in the water with my hands over there. Is that considered a grama? Is that considered that you did the rock, and the rock caused the?
Same with the walls, with the hose.
I hear the question. Share not to. We'll have to analyze that. No, question: is it direct, or is that considered? In the case of
It's direct.
all these cases we're learning is you're pouring the barrel itself. I'm pulling the spigot out, and the barrel's coming.
Got it.
Here it's a step before. I'm throwing the rock, right? And then what happens? Yeah, that's a question. And then the rock causes the water to flow. Something to discuss. The case happened to you? No?
I'm just thinking
Oh,
it out loud. Because you're talking about a barrel. I'm saying, how can I get the water out of the barrel without tilting it? The easiest way is to overflow it. I put my hands there. It's right there.
100%.
Not that if the barrel has a spigot, even better, like a spigot, like a lip.
Oh my God. Okay, עד כאן נפשנו. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן בחיים וקשה, כל שפוט יוצא לפיך, חרבה להם, טוב לא בזמן ספקוד, תורה וידיר, יתקדם. מה מברך?